Giulio, what?
Will be in the studio, his studio.
Okay, at his house.
No, I guess where they do the show.
Okay. So is that a code for I need to text him stuff in the morning?
I would do it as a. He says he's got it, but I would do it as a backup. I would always err on the side of.
Yeah.
Time for the ride home in ENC.
Tanner? Tanner?
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome into Tiebreakers. Let me put my handsome new leather jacket on, Pilk.
It looks good, but I don't think it's that cold in here, PJ.
I'm a little chilly at the moment.
You're never chilly.
I know. It must be the this week's storm of the century that is going on outside.
I know. I saw 3 whole snowflakes, and people were driving like morons.
Well, now that's no way to talk about our friends in the Democrat Party. We're sticking to sports.
Sorry.
Hey-o!
Hey, that was going.
Pilk's excited. Congratulations to your Duke Blue Devils. You and the coach are fired up. Coach wants to be back on the show, by the way.
That's what I was told. We got to get the coach on. We got plenty of time between now and the bowl game, I think. We're going to talk a lot of Pirates and Panthers, but we can only say so much about one football game in the next 17 days or whatever the hell it is. So I think there's plenty of time to get the coach on.
John Gilbert will be our guest today on the show. It'll be an encore of an interview from earlier today on the Talk of the Town, but a lot of it is still vital and all of that. We do have some breaking news to bring you right now. We understand that at this hour, head coach Blake Harrell is meeting with the Pirate football team, and that they are discussing the fact that Josh Aldridge, the defensive coordinator, has taken a similar position, the same position, at USF. So that is some breaking news for you. Go ahead and put it out on the Twitter sphere.
Yeah.
Might as well. I mean, we've the meeting going on right now, so that's all we know. I'll say this. I think, and I don't want to tell too many tales out of school here, but, from what we understand, or what I understand, he's going to go to USF for basically the same amount of money. So, I mean, it's a lateral move, literally. And I talked to Igo earlier today, and at the time, Steven did not know of any connection between the new coach, who was the OC at Ohio State for USF, and Josh Aldridge. And that's Igo. So, I mean, this is obviously, and I do think this, and I'm not trying, certainly, again, tales out of school, but, I think Blake Harrell had a lot more of his hands in the defense this year than, one, people realized, and two, he actually wanted to have as the head coach. I don't think this is a control freak situation like some coaches we've had here. Some who've been very successful, but wanted to call plays, Skip Holtz, or, never got out of the defensive mentality like Houston, but instead, wanted to be the head coach and exercise that. And I think he did give Josh Aldridge the ability to call plays during the game, but obviously a head coach is going to overrule. He's going to decide when you go for it on certain situations. You go for 2, you don't go for it on 4th. You don't, a lot of that the coaches are making the call. We're going to run a fake here. That's something that's run by the coach, the head coach.
Yeah, and you're telling your OC, for example, hey, it's 4-down territory.
Right.
It could be, get me to 4th and manageable on 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And then defensively, again, I think Blake was a little more hands-on than he had intended to be.
That's what I had gotten. That's kind of some,
And so I don't think this is cause for concern. Now, JDB has interviewed in one of the spots north of here. Apparently is interviewing today in one of the spots southwest of here. So that's still to be played out. But and we'll ask play. I mean, like I said, the meeting's going on now with the players as we speak. So I have every intent of asking Blake about that respectfully. Yeah. And look, there'll be a bunch of internet losers out there say, oh, Pirate Pat doesn't ever press anybody on any. Clearly, you don't listen to this show. And clearly, you don't listen to even the coaches. Because, that's the thing about Blake. You can ask Blake any question, he'll answer it.
Yeah.
So
he'll answer it on the record, too.
Right.
There's a couple things strategy-wise. I'll ask him on our weekly calls, before or after.
Sure.
Quick. But, you don't want to give stuff to the opposing team. But if he could keep it right here in Greenville, everything he said, I think he'd give the whole fan base our game plan if he knew there was no way the opposing team would get it.
Right.
He's a man of the people.
Yeah. And so, I will say as much as – let him say as much as he wants to say about it or as little as he wants to say about it because that's – but, I certainly intend to ask the question of that tonight. All right. So that is that. Pirates are heading back to the Military Bowl. Do we have cuts that we want to play now, or do we want to save those for?
I think we're going to save them for the 5 at 5.
Okay. Anything you want to talk about here before we go? Obviously, it's been beaten to death, the playoff, but we do have what I think are some always anonymous text line. You might not have gotten this one.
I didn't hit it.
Pirate Pat, you're a piece of blank. You don't press anybody on anything. Take that leather jacket off. You don't deserve it. All right. Well, that's a good point. But I'm a little chilly. Pilkington, by the way, has a Letterman's jacket.
Quite a Letterman's. It kind of looks like one.
It does look like it's a Boston Bruins Letterman's jacket.
Well, I got to college. I couldn't wear my high school Letterman's jacket around. I wore that around for 3 years in high school. You look like a dork.
You seem like the kind of dork that would wear the Letterman's jacket.
You had to around the hallways, man. I think I've worn it once since I graduated. I think I went back to a football game my freshman year of college, and it was cold. And I was like, I'm putting this thing back.
Those things are warm.
Those things are warm. I do miss them. It's a heck of a lot thicker than the Bruins one I got.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I laid my bag on your Bruins jacket. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
I didn't realize that. All right. Let's hit a break because we've got a top 5 at 5. We got John Gilbert. We want to allow plenty of time for that. William Grover's back in the studio with intern DeMarco.
Yep.
All right. Good stuff. Pilk is here on hand. We're live at Tiebreakers. A little bit of sleet, I guess, was falling. Maybe it still does. I don't know. But I don't think we're going to have, at least for the little bit here.
I see some snow. It's actually snowing right now.
All right. Well, nothing to panic about, people. Act like you've been there before driving.
Yeah. It is above 32 degrees. That means it's going to be no different than rain on the roads. Not that you guys drive good in the rain anyways. Whoa!
They don't drive. They don't drive well in the rain. 37 right now. And, it's rainy here with a little bit of snow mixed in or very light precip mixed in. But don't be an idiot out there, boys and girls. All right. Stay tuned. When we come back, we will do our top 5 at 5 for this Monday, December 8th. Stay with us.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt & Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt & Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Remember, get the podcast of the show on the IBX Media app or where you get your podcasts.
I listen on my Apple Watch.
Smart speaker.
Listen while you work.
I listen everywhere. The Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back. I was going to say something, but we came back and I can't say it.
Yeah.
Can't say it. All right, let's do the top 5 at 5 here on the PJ Show, live from Tiebreakers.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game. It's impossible. Now some stories you may have heard. Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
All right, welcome back to the PJ Show. It's nice of you to be with us here today. Let us do the top 5 at 5, and let's start with our first topic.
Number 1.
Gruber. Willie Grober back in the studios. All right, Pilk, what we got?
Number 1, as has been talked about, plus 24 hours, 25 hours. Pirates going to the Military Bowl, take on the Pitt Panthers, second consecutive year, and third time the last 5 years the Pirates will head to Annapolis. Second time they'll get to play the game since, Boston College chickened out due to getting the common cold. And,
jeez.
And today, John Gilbert.
You're on Talk of the Town tomorrow for sports,
I know,
not today.
I'm sorry. Hey, you started it with the snowflake joke.
Guilty as charged.
I know. Hey, Henry's in D.C. He can't yell at us. So.
Well, that's true. Not that he would.
True. But today, John Gilbert explained kind of the bowl process and why the Pirates are going back to the Military Bowl.
The Liberty Bowl, not having an SEC opponent, they trump all the American picks and get to pick first. And they wanted to pick Navy. And when they did that, it kind of created this trickle down. So I had conversations with the Liberty Bowl, conversations with Duke's Mayo in Charlotte, Boca, Gasparilla, all trying to best position ourselves where we could play with the best matchup in mind.
Anything for Blake on the ball?
I'm sure DeMarco cut up a lot of things.
DeMarco, do you have anything from Blake on the bowl we could hear him say maybe?
Yeah, we got one
we'll
here.
wait. Okay, all right.
Sounds good.
This right here is Blake's opinion on the bowl selection process.
Yeah, I think it's like Christmas. You wake up, you think you're getting one gift, and you get another gift, right? And at the end of the day, you're still getting a gift and still getting an opportunity. And I think that's obviously we all had our preferences, whether that be warm or whether that be, late, whether that be early. Doesn't matter. We all probably had 100 different opinions within our locker room, within our program. But at the end of the day, you're grateful for the opportunity and excited about the opportunity. And as you said, as you go on and you get closer, you just get more and more excited about the game and excited to play an ACC opponent and line up and play with each other.
So back-to-back years at the Military Bowl, meaning how many years are they in the Military Bowl consecutively?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
2. I want you to remember the number 2. Because just 3 years ago, how many wins did we have?
2.
This doesn't happen overnight or regularly. I mean, you better enjoy this right now, especially because there will be changes. A lot of people believe that are going to come to the bowl because, I mean, they had a hell of a time filling all the slots this year because people opting out.
Yeah, and
we'll get to in a second.
We'll get to in a second. So one thing I do want to say, and I understand people's frustration, going to the same bowl back-to-back years. I know it kind of stinks, but,
it's not like you're going to Detroit.
I know this thing. The pecking order, that's an honor that you're that high in pecking order. The one thing I also want to say, in the last 5 years, been to 4 bowl games. 3 times, John Gilbert has been able to pull off an ACC opponent.
Yeah.
That's what and so here's the thing. John Gilbert, and this is not his fault, this is the state of college football, does not get the opportunities to schedule the big out-of-conference games that his predecessors scheduled in the 90s just because of the way college football works. And so where he can show his ability is the way he handles the bowl games. And John Gilbert has done a phenomenal job getting us opponents that we want to play, and specifically that our guy Mark Miller wants us to play.
Next.
Number 2.
Number 2, Notre Dame's athletic director. You have it, Pete. I can't even read you.
Bevacqua. Pete
Bevacqua was on the Dan Patrick
show here
today
on 94.3 The Game.
On 94.3 The Game, talking about just kind of the state of everything. This is like a 2-minute deal here. They go into a lot of things as it goes to opting out in the ACC.
And what he says is there has been damage done to the relationship between Notre Dame and the ACC.
Yes, he does.
What role did the ACC play in any of this, in your opinion?
Well, I would tell you, I mean, again, I have tremendous respect for Miami. Great team, great school. Their athletic director, Dan Radakovich, is a good friend. And all the teams in the ACC, great, wonderful universities. We have no gripes about any of the schools in the ACC. But we were mystified by the actions of the conference to attack, their biggest really business partner in football and a member of their conference in 24 of our other sports. And I would tell you, Dan, I wouldn't be honest with you if I didn't say that they have certainly done permanent damage to the relationship between the conference and Notre Dame.
What do you mean?
Just we didn't appreciate the fact that we were singled out repeatedly and compared to Miami. Not by Miami. Miami has every right to do that. But it raised a lot of eyebrows here that the conference was taking shots at us. And that's just not something we chose to do. We wouldn't choose to do that in the future, and people might disagree with us, but that's just not something that we'd be comfortable with. And again, we have no problem with any of these teams. These are all great teams. You look at those teams, Miami, like I said, great season. They beat us. You think about Alabama, nobody's had more success in college football over the last decade than Alabama. But Dan, you follow this sport so closely. Everybody was saying that we were one of a handful of teams that could win this whole thing. Yeah. And now we have 0% chance. Even Nick Saban, nobody knows more about college football, maybe in the history of the world, than Nick Saban. And he said it yesterday, like, how is Notre Dame not in this? I mean, everybody is just kind of confused and perplexed. And we don't have good answers for the the kids on our team, for our student athletes.
Are you going to reevaluate your relationship with the ACC, the overall relationship?
I would just say it's been strained.
So, a couple things here.
Thank you.
6 years. For the next 6 years, Notre Dame now has an agreement. If they finish in the top 12 in the playoff seeding, they will be automatically into the playoff with no conference affiliation, with no championship game ever to play in.
So if they finish 12 and there's a conference champion at 13,
they're going to be, and they'll move up to 11. Somebody else will get knocked out.
Okay.
Because that's the deal. It was announced. The AD even told Ross Dellinger that. I did talk to a former Notre Dame player today who said as soon as they didn't make the playoff, he said, hey, let's not let the Bulls make money off us.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, though, continues to make huge amounts of money off of college. I mean, last year, they didn't have to share any of that playoff money with a conference.
Mm-mm.
It went right to them. So Notre Dame, and I say this tongue-in-cheek, could have been the hero of yesterday had they come back and said, you know what, we've reconsidered. We'll go to the Birmingham Bowl and play Georgia Southern instead of having this ridiculous exercise of a bunch of 5 and 7 teams turning you down till you got the App State.
Yeah.
Which would be good on App.
Yeah.
For deciding we're going to play this. Because they could have very easily said, no, we're not. And so Notre Dame could have totally rehabilitated the image, done a lot of good, and won back a lot of goodwill. Because the fact is, I mean, we're not going to belabor this because, again, it's been belabored all yesterday and today. It could have very easily been Alabama left out and should have been left out, to be quite frank.
I disagree. I don't think a team should be punished for playing a conference championship game.
They didn't look good, Pilk.
I know.
They ran for -3 yards. They didn't. And look, 21 points. It was not that close.
No, it wasn't.
They have 3 losses. They have not played well in the last month. They do not deserve to be in. But the committee positioned them because they're in the SEC and they're Alabama. That if they took the loss, they were not going to drop out. Are they any more worthy than BYU? Now, the case with BYU is they lost twice in a big way to Texas Tech. Bama did beat Georgia on their home field.
Yeah.
So you got that to hang your head on. The Miami thing is they beat Notre Dame. The head-to-head has to matter at some point. Again, this is not any new ground being covered here. This has all been talked about today. And Notre Dame, if they want to have somebody lobby on their behalf and be in a conference for other sports, then why not join a conference so the conference can lobby on your behalf, clearly like the ACC did for Miami.
This is what you said about last year.
Right. Then
Money,
don't
money,
bitch.
money.
Then don't complain.
I agree. Then don't complain.
And you know what?
You had every right to join the conference.
Sure.
For years. You could join the Big East.
And the ACC during COVID should have forced them to join permanently.
Yeah.
They should have forced them to join, but that's a lack of leadership in that conference. The other thing I will say is this. I think, this guy, the AD's butthurt. They said they met with the players. Are you telling me the seniors didn't want to play another game?
Yeah, last chance to ever suit up and play
for
football.
Notre Dame.
Yeah. That is, if I was a senior player right now, who cares at this point? I'd be speaking out.
Sue the university.
I would too.
I'd sue them for malpractice.
I mean, every athlete.
Rather litigious of me, isn't it?
It is. But every athlete deserves to know when his last game is. Right?
We have an inkling.
Yeah. Now, sometimes, like high school, we don't know if we're getting into the playoffs.
But that makes the playoff a desperate situation.
Yeah. When you walk off the field and you've lost your senior year, or, hey, we only won 5 games, we're not going to a bowl game, like you have the right to know.
Right. And those seniors, a lot of those last year guys for Notre Dame, they're not necessarily going to go to the NFL. None of them are, hardly.
Probably a few guys in there.
But not the vast majority.
No. Well, you're not guaranteed a game in the NFL.
And for this gargantuan fan base, you don't think that the fan base would have liked to watch one more Notre Dame? And then you go out there to the bowl, you circle the wagons, and you kick the team's tail.
Yeah.
And you prove your point. But instead, they quit like a champion today.
Who would they have played if they gone to the Pop-Tart Bowl? It was somebody legit.
I don't know.
Somebody they could.
Was it Michigan?
Let's see. I got to look at the 2 teams in it, and I'll know which one.
Yeah, you need to do that because I've been locked in basketball mode. Speaking of which, basketball mode number 3 next.
Number 3.
Number 3, the Pirates fall to UNC Greensboro on Saturday. It's given the Spartans their second win of the season. Pirates fall to 3-6, I believe. right?
Yep.
And they will host Appalachian State at 7 on Thursday. Network time is 6:30.
Virginia Lynchburg played Appalachian State. When we get to Thursday, it'll be 8 days ago.
Okay.
Appalachian State beat Virginia Lynchburg 133-45.
Almost by 100. They did a hundo a couple of years ago. They beat a team 136-35. They handle the non-D1 teams well.
If they can beat East Carolina that badly on Thursday night, they will beat them that badly on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Do I think they'll beat them that badly on Thursday night? I don't know.
I don't think so, but they're going to try. Oh yeah, you know who the Notre Dame was going to play in the Pop-Tarts Bowl?
Who?
BYU.
That's right.
So it was the first two teams out, and they could have kicked the ever-loving mess out of BYU.
And it would have been a hell of a game.
Yeah, it would have.
The Catholics and the Mormons didn't like that I used HE double hockey stick there. The other part of this is with basketball. This is not a good basketball team right now. And I don't know if there is room for market improvement. I really don't.
Is there a deadline? Can we? Is there a mid-season?
Well, and I'll say this because again, the internet nerds in their basements of their mommy and daddy's place are saying, "Fire the coach, fire the coach." Well, there's legal and financial ramifications to that. You still have 2/3 of the season to go.
Yeah,
and I think you do owe it to Mike Swartz, who did win 19 games last year.
Yeah.
To allow him to get through the course of the non-conference season and let him coach conference games, because you don't know how that's going to go. That's a reset button potentially. Now, I'm going to say this. You got Jay Woodard back. We're injured excuse. We're 9 games into this thing.
Yeah.
You ought to have figured out how to play together, because we're nearing the point where you are what you are.
Yeah, you are what your record says.
Right.
You gotta.
Well, no, you are what you are.
Yeah.
And you're not. Now you can get better or you can get worse, but what you are is what you are.
Well, and then also, you think about the people who are saying that we should fire coach. What is that going to change in the immediate future?
Well, it would be you wouldn't win another game. Now you might say, it's not going to make anything any better. It could only make what right now looks like a really bad situation much, much worse, and it may end up much, much worse anyway. But he's the guy who put this roster together. He needs to coach it.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
444.
All righty. Number 4, softball will be hosting the conference championship game tournament this season. This is the first time in 3 years, I believe, that we did it.
Hosted a few years ago.
Yeah, which was a really good time. The only problem is Mother Nature was kind of yeah, that's good. The word to use. I was using something else.
So I think we even mentioned this summer. We knew this months ago.
Yeah.
And even brought it up at some point over the summer. I'm positive we did on this show because I remember talking to you about it on the air. No, this is great. It is. Look, we host the college or the Little League Softball World Series. Why not the American Championship at Greenville?
Yeah, I mean, look, we've got a great facility. There's a reason we host all these multi-team events early in the season. Teams love coming here. That's really the only crappy thing about Greenville is, bless you, Patrick, is that you got to fly into Raleigh and then drive over. That's really the only downside. But we've got enough hotel space. The facilities there is wonderful, and I thought our staff did a really good job last time, and they're used to, because we host some of these multi-team events. The grounds crew and the operations staff
they do a great job.
Used to playing.
Are you going to do some PA during this? I hope you do.
Yeah, I'd like to.
All right. Well, I want to be on the TV. You let the hometown announcer do the games on Plus.
I don't. Katie doesn't make that decision. I've got Katie's.
You're
ear,
lobbying for yes.
Yeah.
Well, you should lobby for me.
Well, I
As
would,
the host of the show.
I would, but I don't know who's here
on the airwaves. You can say.
Okay, I will.
Jeez, Pilk. With friends like Pilk, who needs enemies?
I'll email Tim Pernetti.
Do it. I'm going to talk to Pernetti. All right.
5.
If he'll ever come on the show again. I mean.
All right, number 5, Dale Murphy snubbed to the Hall of Fame. I'm going to let you and Grover. You got about 4 minutes.
All right.
To you and Grover.
So,
go ahead.
Here, and Gruber is a baseball nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what Jeff Kent got in on the 14 of 16 ballots by the Contemporary Baseball Era Committee. 2 more needed for induction. Kent's numbers, he's the home run, second base home run leader. Number 1, and I don't mind saying this, I said to you guys, he couldn't carry the jock of the late, great Ryan Sandberg. Just couldn't. And Kent's numbers will be irrelevant in half a decade to a decade. These home run second base. And it could end up being somebody who's not a Hall of Fame player. So this is going to look crazy. There was a stretch from, what do we say, Grover, from win to win?
From 1980 to 1987, an 8-year stretch where Dale Murphy had 42.4 WAR. And that might be the only basis that they don't agree with letting him in, that he only did this in 8 years out of the 18 seasons that he played.
They've let guys in for less.
More than way deserving just for that performance. That prime of his was awesome.
He was the 2-time MVP in that stretch. On 4 other occasions in that stretch, he was in the MVP top 10 voting 1, 2, 3, we'll say 4 times because he was 11th in one year, one of the voters at 87. And in 87, you could have made the argument had, and I know Ozzie Smith, I think, was runner-up that year.
Yeah.
But had Andre Dawson not had the year, Murphy probably would have been in the conversation because of the power numbers he put up there when he hit 44 home runs. And his WAR that year was 7.7. All right, Grover, carry us out here. This is a travesty. And here's the other thing. A great guy by all accounts.
Yeah.
I could get it if he were a jerk. There are 2 Hall of Fames that screw this up. The Baseball Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They wait till people are dead before they put him in.
Yep. All right, William.
So there's a couple of notes to touch on here. From the years that I was giving was 1980 to 1987. And in those years, he played 162 games 4 times consecutively. In all 4 of those years, he got a Gold Glove and a Silver Slugger award and was a 2-time MVP in 2 of those years. MVP 9th place finish, MVP 7th place finish. He led the league in intentional walks one year, led the league in OBA one year, OPS that same year. Slugging percentages were through the roof. It's just there's nothing that you could look at this guy's resume from either side of the ball. You can be on defense, offense. There's nothing that you can look at and say that he wasn't a team leader or an excellent player by all accounts.
I don't get it. He was a solid citizen. You know, you could say, well, the teams didn't win. There's a bunch of guys that are in the Hall of Fame whose teams didn't win.
It's baseball.
Yeah.
It's the sport that one guy means the least.
Right. So to be superlative in that sport and have an imprint on the game and teams game plan around you.
Yeah.
That is a travesty. All right, we got to hit a break. John Gilbert on the other side, top of the hour. We will be live from Tiebreakers with Blake Harrell, and London Montgomery will be here tonight. The long snapper is going to be with us.
Tristan O'Brien,
yep. So they'll be here tonight, and we'll talk to Blake Harrell. Many things to discuss with him. It is Inside Pirate Athletics coming your way at 6. This is the Patrick Johnson Show. Joe Giglio tomorrow on the PJ Show. John Gilbert next.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you. Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Oh, look who's back reporting for duty.
You got here just in time.
Holy nuts, man.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Did you know where you were going before the opponent, or were you? How did all that sort of transpire?
We had a pretty good idea. You know, I've probably been
You're waiting throughout the day. I guess, did you know where you were going before the opponent, or were you? How did all that sort of transpire?
We had a pretty good idea. You know, I've probably been on the phone for the last 10 days, maybe, talking to different bowls, and I knew pretty quickly it was going to be kind of a wonky year with regard to bowl matchups. So I knew that was coming, and really, it kind of all started with the SEC in that, you know, they didn't have enough teams to fill their spots. Not enough teams were bowl eligible. And per the agreement, if you look at the American, it is ESPN selects, then the Military Bowl, then ESPN slots the rest bowls 3 through 8. Well, what happened, the Liberty Bowl was not going to be an SEC bowl based on not enough teams being eligible. And per the agreement with the Liberty Bowl, the American is a backup, but it trumps all the American picks. And so what happens is they get the first pick. They wanted to take Navy based on their TV rating. Navy played at Notre Dame, so obviously their TV rating is going to be high this year.
Maybe inflated a little.
I would definitely say I would agree with your assessment. And then it goes to ESPN. ESPN, you know, per different bowl agreements and when they're expiring, they put Army as their first pick in Fenway against UConn. That is normally an ACC matchup with the American. And then you fell to the military. So initially, like even the military would say, hey, we really don't want to bring a team back 2 years in a row.
Sure.
All things being equal, we would not want to go back to the same bowl. We'd want our student athletes to experience, a different bowl game. But based on those factors, military is sitting at, hey, I can't get Navy, I can't get Army.
Right.
Okay, I want East Carolina again because I do know what that fan base brings, the energy, the excitement, and the number of people. And so it worked out that way. Now back to the wonkiness of bowls.
Sure.
There were a lot of things at play. You had the whole Notre Dame issue, which slowed the train down.
Mm-hmm.
And once they figured out that they weren't going to accept a bowl, you also had Kansas State and Iowa State opt out. So it created created a quagmire, for lack of a better term, yesterday.
Sure.
And I do think, based on yesterday, I think we'll see significant change in the bowl system between now and next year.
As to what? How would you feel like that would change?
I think that you're going, just again to provide some context, you look at the Birmingham Bowl, which is typically an SEC bowl. They would get, I can't remember who played in it last year. I think it was Georgia Tech and Vandy. Two pretty good teams,
Sure. Yeah.
And you look at a city like Birmingham, who is a huge sports town. If you look at their TV numbers, it's like the best TV market in the country for sports. And they get, Georgia Southern, and they can't find an opponent
Sure.
to play them. And so luckily Appalachian stepped up, and they're going to get to have a bowl game. And I think when you throw all this in, opt-outs, we're not going to play because our coaches are moving. We're not going to play because we think that we should have been in the playoff. There are a lot of cities that invest a lot of money in this, and conferences and, just the time. I think you could see the bowl system shrink considerably. Again, I don't know this for 100% certainty, but you're probably going to see 6 and 6 teams potentially not eligible for bowls anymore. The conferences shrinking the number of bowls that they're committed to until we change the dynamics of college football. I think we're going to continue to run into these things. And so I think it's really important that we fix the enterprise first from a calendar standpoint, but I do think there's going to be overhaul with the playoffs, expansion. The ACC probably is going to remove or change their tiebreaker system.
Sure.
Yesterday was just a bad look for college football, and I do think that there'll be changes to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
John Gilbert is ECU's Director of Athletics. He joins us here on the program. As far as Notre Dame's decision, and I'm not wanting to put you in a position to second-guess their administration, but just from the overall, as you say, perception of the sport, it doesn't seem like that one of your name brands deciding this is a good thing for the health of the sport.
Well, it's not that just them. Like there is a lot of transition at this time, and it's all because of the rules we all implemented. And I say we, everybody says the NCAA. We're a member of the NCAA. Kansas State's a member of the NCAA. Notre Dame's a member. We all agree to, all the rules that we're dealing by. And so when you look at a Iowa State, hey, our coach just took another job, we're not going to play in a bowl. Kansas State, our coach is, leaving the profession, retiring, we're not going to play in a bowl game. I'm not sure that is in the spirit of what college athletics is, but we've changed that spirit a long time ago.
In fairness, though, with Iowa State and Kansas State, those are extenuating. I mean, those are coaches leaving. You may or may not agree with the decision, but okay, you can. Notre Dame just saying we're taking the ball and going home to me is, especially since they have sort of instituted their own set of rules with football within these rules, seems a little hypocritical.
Well, I think it's, it certainly sends a message, and everybody can interpret what that message is. I do think you'll see playoff expansion, and I do think you'll see a shrinkage of the bowl system because, look, there are times when I've been a part of teams where you get bowl eligible at 6-6, and it's an unbelievable experience, and it catapults you to the next season.
Sure.
I've also been a part of programs where you win 6 or 7 games, and everyone's talking about getting in the portal or transferring, and you're going, man, we're just ready for the season to be over with.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see some sort of balance of that. And I think it all falls back to one thing, in my opinion, and that is player acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at that one topic, the way we do player acquisition in college athletics right now is absurd. Before, arguably the most important part of your season, the postseason,
sure,
you have student athletes already talking to other schools, even though the portal window isn't open, about going to other schools for more money. And I think until we fix that window, the chaos that we're dealing with right now is going to continue. And we need to fix the player acquisition piece quickly.
I don't want to belabor this point with all the minutia, but it just seems like there needs to be a total shift in the does that at all line up with the academic calendar? I mean, it just seems like there's so many factors.
Yeah, if I were a czar of college football for a day,
which
and
the sport needs a czar,
I would wave a wand, and what I would do is on the player piece, I would take the month of, I'm picking a random month, the month of March is going to be the portal window. So student athletes are staying at their institution in January. They can't get into the portal until March. Everyone does whatever they're going to do from a transfer standpoint. There will be no more spring football. Mm-hmm. Student athlete can sign with another school in March. As soon as the semester is over, so they've got to finish academically, they could go to the new school for summer school. We would institute OTAs, optional training activities, kind of like the NFL. So in essence, in the summer, our student athletes in football are at their institutions the entire summer, and I would allow or implement OTAs in the summer to get ready for the season. And then the other thing I would do, much like the NFL in coaching contracts, I would limit the exposure of institutions of when coaches could leave. And again, it would not be until seasons are over. What's happening is, depending on where your institution falls on the spectrum of their bowl game, it can be really meaningful for your institution, or it cannot mean anything at all, depending on where your school falls on the spectrum. And I think that is really not good for the game. And so I think we need to protect player acquisition, coaching transition, and change the football calendar where we move it more to the summer, where we're protecting the academic component as well.
John Gilbert, ECU Director of Athletics. Let's talk about the bowl. That's one of the things we wanted to discuss with you. And ECU headed back to the Military Bowl. Has there been some interaction with East Carolina's athletics department and the bowl to what the bowl experience will be like, so it's not a carbon copy of what ECU players experienced last year.
Absolutely. And look, we've been talking to the Military Bowl for a while. We knew that this would be a possibility based on all the teams that were bowl eligible. And so that was a really important piece for me, is making sure our student athletes didn't go back and experience the exact same thing. And I don't think that will be the case. The Cowboys and the Commanders play each other while we're there. We're gonna make sure our student athletes have access to that. There's a hockey game. The Capitals are playing. There's a activity center that has like an indoor building, indoor water park, video games, laser tag, all those things that they didn't do last year. We're going to have access to that. And so we'll be in the exact same hotel, which was a great experience. But from an activity standpoint, we are going to do some things different to give them a little different feel than what they've had before.
Well, and I think from the football player perspective, they like the idea of a P4 opponent, for sure.
Absolutely. Like if you look at the American matchups, you have Tulane in the playoff playing Ole Miss. You have Navy playing Cincinnati, a Big 12 team, and then East Carolina playing Pitt, ACC. Every other matchup, I believe that we have is a Memphis is playing NC State.
Right. The Gasparilla.
What we have, everybody else is mostly G5 matchups. And then if you look at the whole bowl structure, there are a lot of G5 matchups that are not traditional matchups. And so I feel really good about the opportunity to play another P4 team. The reality is, moving forward, it is going to be very difficult to get many P4 games. And so every opportunity to do that is good for the Pirates.
Was there any push for Gasparilla or how much can you kind of push for that?
Well, ESPN is determining, right. ESPN along with the conference office is determining where these how these matchups are taking place. And so I talked to a lot of bowls. I talked to the Liberty. I talked to Duke's Mayo. Talked to Military, Gasparilla, Boca. I mean, I had conversations with a lot of bowls in our footprint. And at the end of the day, there is a difference between an ESPN-owned bowl, like a Gasparilla, versus a game that's televised by ESPN, like Duke's Mayo.
Okay.
And so we, ECU, we are part of the American lineup that is allocated by ESPN. When all this horse trading starts taking place, ESPN is reluctant to give up a East Carolina out of their lineup unless they can get something in return. And so, you know, we stayed in our traditional bowl footprint than going to like a Duke's Mayo Bowl because, you know, obviously you can make a really good case for Duke's Mayo and ECU, proximity, ACC, all those things. The reality is ESPN looks at that and goes, okay, Navy just got taken by the Liberty, which is not an ESPN-owned bowl. We're not going to give up another team out of our lineup. So there are a lot of factors at play.
And these are again a lot of things with the ACC and their tiebreakers. So it winds up 2 G5 schools getting conference champions, top the 4th and 5th rated conference champions based on the metrics. Is that good for college football, and will we ever see it again?
I don't think it's good for college football, and I say that as someone who you know, believes in the G5 and what we do and how we do it and all those things. The reality is, you know, from a TV perspective and a revenue perspective, there were a lot of people not happy with yesterday's outcome, and I think that's why you'll see expansion. And you'll see these tweaks to the system where the G5 is going to always have access to the playoff. But when you get two teams in like that, and like look at the point spread differential with James Madison going to Oregon, versus what the ACC champion, and I realize their record is what it is, but I think ultimately what took place yesterday is going to be the impetus for a lot of change in the postseason.
With the counter to that would be the NCAA tournament is a large success, primarily because everybody's got a shot.
Yeah, I would argue you're talking about the old NCAA tournament. If you look at last year's NCAA tournament, I think McNeese State was the only school that had a win in the weekend. Every other school, it was the traditional schools.
Sure.
And look, I love when St. Peter's beats Kentucky.
Right.
That is good for the game. We need to play those games, and we still need to have access to it. But the reality is where TV is going and the money, TV doesn't want St. Peter's versus Kentucky. They want Kentucky versus Kansas because of the revenue differential. And so, again, we're always going to have access, but the amount of money that these programs are spending versus everyone else, it's a big difference.
Yeah. ECUPirates.com for all the information on the bowl. John, thank you for being with us here.
Thanks for having me. Go Pirates.
That right there was Patrick with ECU Athletic Director John Gilbert talking about bowl selection process. Don't forget, coming up in the next hour, we have Inside Pirate Athletics with Patrick Johnson here on 94.3 The Game. For Patrick Johnson and Philip Pilkington, I'm William Grover. We want to thank you for tuning in with the P-Man. After the break, we will get you back out to tiebreakers with Pirates football head coach Blake Harrell. Don't go anywhere. It's all here on 94.3 The Game.
Toyota for model year-end savings on a Camry. Just $229 a month. $229 a month. Or new RAV4, $279 a month. $279 a month. Only during our model year-end move-out. Right now at Greenville Toyota.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's cut in color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Hurry to Greenville Toyota for model year-end savings on a Camry. Just $229 a month. $229 a month. Or new RAV4, $279 a month. $279 a month. Only during our model year-end move-out. Right now at Greenville Toyota.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's cut in color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt & Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt & Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
It's Greenville Toyota's model year-end move-out. Save on a new Corolla, just $149 a month. $149 a month. Or new Tacoma, $249 a month. $249 a month. Now get a move on and save at Greenville Toyota.